Radar is considered one of the 50 types of weaponry that change the course of warfare because it not only helps detect and accurately locate targets, but also serves as the basis for developing various types of specially guided weapons. Instead of needing direct line of sight to fire, as in the past, now it's possible to drop bombs accurately on a target without seeing it, and with significantly higher damage. This has greatly advanced the Vietnamese military, giving rise to new names and roles. One such role is the Chắc Thủ, a term unfamiliar to most people, but it is a crucial position in the air defense missile units. The Chắc Thủ is responsible for reading radar screens, filtering out noise, and accurately determining the coordinates of aircraft to decide when to fire missiles. Because of its importance, this position is selected very carefully with stringent requirements. The Chắc Thủ have acute hearing, sharp eyesight, and dexterity in handling tasks. Even a single mistake can result in immediate dismissal, making it a significant role where any change must be approved by the regiment commander or even the division commander. During the war, the US used radar to jam communication between our missiles and control stations, causing significant difficulties. Despite this, our Chắc Thủ found ways to determine the aircraft coordinates. Although the problem was that communication between the missiles and the control stations was interrupted, the US had discovered and jammed that communication frequency. This jamming was a double-edged sword. While it prevented our missiles from following orders, it also meant that they could be guided by adjusting communication frequencies. Changing the communication frequency was crucial, and the basic principle for doing so was from high school physics. F equals 1/2 of KLC. By changing C, the frequency changes. Understanding this concept allowed us to solve the issue. However, changing the frequency required approval from the Soviet Union, which had provided the weaponry. At the time, the Soviet Union's engineers were the only ones who knew the frequency specifics, and they were reluctant to share due to the national security concerns. The situation was dire, as without changing the frequency, it was impossible to engage aircraft with thousands of missiles available. A delay in frequency adjustment could result in significant losses. Fortunately, the Soviet ambassador in Vietnam decidedly allowed us to adjust the frequencies, arguing that since the US had already figured out how to jam them, there was no longer any secrecy. This decision allowed us to adjust the frequencies and target the B-52s effectively. The US was infuriated by our proficient use of the SAM-2 missiles and tried various methods to neutralize our air defense. They implemented tactics used by Israel, such as low-altitude, high-speed attacks to evade SAM-2s, exemplified by the F-111 aircraft with its variable sweep wings designed for short takeoffs and landings. The F-111 could fly low and fast, making it challenging to intercept. Despite the F-111's advanced features, the Vietnamese military, with its resilience and ingenuity, managed to counteract it effectively. They set up 200 positions around Hanoi with local militias using observation posts to track the aircraft. The local defenses adapted by adjusting their targeting strategies to intercept the F-111s, which flew mostly at night. This approach resulted in the downing of 5 out of the 48 F-111s, a significant loss given the aircraft's $15 million price tag. The US had to falsely claim technical issues to explain these losses. The F-111s returned to Vietnam in 1972. Despite being highly advanced, faced improved Vietnamese defenses that were well prepared for such threats. the Vietnamese used both high-caliber anti-aircraft fire and accurate targeting to shoot down the aircraft, which was a shocking revelation to the world, particularly the US public. This effectiveness was confirmed by an American pilot who admitted that even a rifle bullet could pose a severe threat to high-speed jets under anti-aircraft fire. Additionally, the strike missile, known for its devastating impact, was another major threat. It honed in on radar signals and destroyed our installations. The Vietnamese military had to develop effective countermeasures against it, demonstrating their continued adaptability and innovation in the face of advanced weaponry.